So we get a whole bunch of questions around how we manage our black tank and best methods and things like that. So I just wanted to do a real quick video, step-by-step guide on how we do it. I'll be as quick as I possibly can. The main thing that you need to know, gloves. Always wear gloves. Another thing is, never put all of your sewer and septic connections on a table.
No, it's gross.
Ever. Okay, we see people do this a lot. Never do that on the table. Always wear gloves. Always have a separate black tank hose. Sorry, always have a separate black tank flush hose to your freshwater hose. Never mix the two things. So first of all, I'm going to connect up the black tank flush hose. I like to make sure that the tank has enough water in there so that it has enough pressure to actually push everything down. If you only have a small amount of water, then the water goes and it leaves everything else in there, and you don't want that. Okay, so when we're putting this on, I have been told that you don't need to worry about pressure regulators for the black tank flush. Apparently it can take a whole bunch of pressure, so I'm not going to put my regulator on. I also don't want to put my regulator onto this because I use it for our fresh water and I try not to mix them. Okay, whilst that's filling up, I know I don't have long because it's pretty full anyway, but I'm going to get the sewer hose out. We use the Rhino hose. I really like this. We haven't had any issues. I actually have two of these in case I need an extension, so I recommend these. You will always get one of these with your Rhino hose. So this is the 4-inch adapter for the hole, so that will sit in the hole and then the hose can connect to this. This bit is so that you can see what's coming out, so you can see if it's running clear. So at a normal campground this screws on into the 4-inch hole, but this one doesn't. It's just a hole, so I'm just going to put this in as best I can, and that's just holding it down. The other end. Okay, so we actually have an extension on here, which is just a Camco extension. It's brilliant. We have an issue with our black tank gate, so I wanted an extra security here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this one, and then I'm going to open the main black one, and this should all start flowing through. Okay, I didn't think I'd need to do this, but I am going to use the slinky thing. So this just allows the pipe to stay at the right angle all the way along. As you saw when I was pushing that through, there was so much pressure going through it, it was causing it to kink. Okay, let's try again. So one of the main things when you're using the black tank, the secret to never blocking the black tank is water. So before you even use it, fill it up a quarter full of water. When you're traveling, always leave about a third full in there, or a fifth full, depending on how much weight you can travel. So always leave a little bit in there so it can splosh around when you're driving, and that helps disintegrate everything. Okay, so the tank emptied fine. I had no blockages, no problems. If you do, I've done another video on how to fix that without having to buy anything, and buying any tools, any special adapters or anything. You just use all the stuff that you normally have. Okay, so it emptied out fine, but I'm sure there's still stuff in there. So I've turned the black tank flush on again. It kind of just flushes around the tank, and that's now pushing that out. What I'm going to do in a moment is, once I'm happy with that and that looks pretty clear, I'm going to close the gate and let the black tank fill up again. Now, a quick tip when you do this, and I've forgotten what the time is that we use because it's been a while since we've been away, but I will time it, and I will look inside the toilet and I will time how long it takes to fill up that tank. Obviously that depends on the pressure and things like this, but if you can time how long it takes to fill up the tank, you can set a stopwatch and say, okay, it's going to take 4 minutes to fill up my entire black tank, and then you know that you can go ahead and open it again. And if we're at the end of a trip, or you know that there's, you're getting some funky odors from it, you can do that a few times. So maybe I'll do it 2 or 3 times for that. And then the final step, after I've done all of that, is I will then open the grey tanks, which will clean out all of your pipes along here, and it should wash all of that out. So even if you are full-time, you can leave your grey tanks open and just have a bit of a U-bend, a homemade U-bend or P-trap in your pipe. We never did that. We always closed all of our tanks, and the reason why is because when I empty the black tank, I want that grey water to wash through the pipe afterwards and just keep all of that clean. So good tip there. Okay, so I've done the black tank flush a few times. I've closed the black tank, and then I'm going to empty out both grey tanks. Now we have two grey tanks. We have one for our kitchen and we have one for our front bathroom shower. So I'm going to do one at a time. I'm probably going to do the kitchen one first, and then I'll come and do the shower one. And by the time that's done, the whole hose should be really clean. So once those are both empty, there's nothing you really need to do with the grey tanks. But one thing that we do is we do have Happy Camper. One thing we do is we do use Happy Camper. We use that in our grey tanks and in our black tank. It's really good. Loads of people recommended it. We can leave a link below if you want to buy that. But I always recommend putting a scoop, one in the black tank, one in each grey tank, and then wait until they fill up and then empty them, one scoop each time. So another quick tip, when you're actually squeezing up the Rhino hoses, if you do this end first, these seal really well. So actually, as you squeeze this together, it's squeezing any odors or anything down here, and then when you get to the end, it compresses. If you have this extended and put both caps on, the air gets trapped inside, so when you try and shrink it down, it won't fit in your holder. I know it sounds obvious, but that took me a little while to learn. Okay, so jobs are good and we're all good. We're good to set off. Quick recap on everything that we did. First thing, when you move and you drive around, make sure there's a little bit of water in the trailer. It really helps to splosh around and kind of, mix things up in there so it's easier to empty when you get to your destination. We found that ice cubes don't work. A lot of people recommend putting ice cubes in there before you travel, and it helps kind of break things up. I found no difference at all, found no evidence that it works, so we don't do that at all. We did it a couple of times and it was just a waste of time for us. Second thing is wear gloves. I mean, you don't have to, it's up to you, it's not the law, but it's kind of gross. If you have any accidents or anything, I just wear gloves, right? And don't put things on the picnic tables or anywhere where anyone's going to eat. It's nasty. So fill up the black tank. Fill it all the way up. When you're about to empty it, fill it all the way up. All that pressure really helps scoop stuff out. If you only have it half full of water, the water kind of trickles out and it leaves everything else sat in there. So if you fill it up, it has a better chance of pulling all of that stuff through the hose when it leaks out. Then you go ahead, empty the tank. If you do get a blockage, I do have another video on a method to do that where you don't have to buy anything, no special tricks or tools or anything like that. You just need all the stuff that you would generally have with a trailer. So I'll link to that here. Okay, once you've done that, fill it up again. Fill up the tank completely full again, and then push it all out again. You'll be surprised how much more stuff comes out when you do that. And honestly, in most cases, we do that 3 or 4 times. I actually used to time the tank, how long it takes to fill up. When we're at a place, because I'll do it the first week when we arrive, and then I'll do it again when we leave, and I will fill the tank up, time it to see how long it takes to fill up the tank, and then I know that next time when I go and do it 2 or 3 more times, I know exactly how long it takes the tank to fill up, and then I can just flush that through. Really easy. Okay, then once all of the nasty stuff's out, you can then open the grey tanks. They should be full because you should let them fill up by having a shower or doing a washing up, something like that. So that will then rinse out the whole entire hose. Okay, and number 9 is, again, before you leave, fill up the black tank, probably about a 5th full. I normally try and get to, I don't know, I just guess, about a 5th full. Just lets it splosh around when you're driving along. Really helps, big tip. Not many people told us that when we started. And then the final tip is Happy Camper. Just keeps everything smelling all nice and fresh, and it helps to clean it and everything like that. We tried a whole bunch of stuff in our tanks. We did have one issue where the tanks smelled real bad and we couldn't figure out what it was. We tried lots of different things, and overall Happy Camper works. It did take a little while for that to actually fix that. So we put a scoop of Happy Camper in the black tank, especially when we're driving, and one in the grey tank as well when we get to our destination. Over time, just keep using it. It's more of a prevention thing, but it will fix nasty odours as well. So I haven't looked in the tanks. Apparently it cleans it as well. Don't know. But yeah, we definitely recommend that. We wouldn't go without that. So That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe if this helped, and check out the black tank video if you're having issues there. It's a real quick video on how to fix a blockage in the black tank. From all the comments, we've had tons and tons of things saying they've tried everything and that's the only thing that worked, so definitely check that out. All right, we'll see you next week.